Welcome. You're listening to the Rutten River Pursuits podcast. Join our epic pro staff around the Sonic Campfire for stories and adventures from our eastern mountains to the Chesapeake Salt. Let our highs and lows inspire you to take to the outdoors.
Hey guys, welcome once again to the Sonic Campfire. This is Uncle Catfish, and you're listening to the Rutten River Pursuits podcast. We have a really special guest on the phone right now with a really great up-and-coming event down at Lancaster Archery. Welcome, Chris Scott.
How's it going, guys?
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Sitting around the table with me tonight, to my right, I'm excited. I don't get a chance to sit with him very often. Welcome.
Brad.
Mr. Brad from Span the Void is with us.
I'm loud and proud.
I'm Will.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Dave.
Chris.
Dave Kyle.
Dave Kyle.
David Kyle. And Chris is with us. Chris Scott, tell me, I read a little bit of some of the stuff that you guys have going on down at Lancaster Archery. Tell me when it is, first of all, so we can tell everybody what the date is. And then I want to kind of tell everybody how many awesome deals you guys have going on.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. We have starts August 18th and 19th. That's our two biggest days. Now, a lot of the sales flyer will run through September 2nd, but the two biggest days are Friday and Saturday. Friday, we have 15% off everything in stock in the entire store. And then on Saturday, we run 10% off. So we like everybody to get in there on Friday, but we'll still hook you up on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's a huge sale. It's your biggest sale of the year.
We'll have people traveling, from northern New York up from South Carolina that will come to the event.
One of the rumors that I heard, Chris, was that you're going to have some people there to tell everybody about the new bows. Is that correct?
Yeah, we'll have a lot of the factory reps as well as pro staff, from crossbow manufacturers to hunting bows, target bows, and accessory manufacturers as well.
Awesome. And for our listeners that have not actually been down to Lancaster Archery, it's been a pinnacle of a place in our life here in Pennsylvania. Just an amazing place. One of the greatest things that I love about your shop is it is one of the true places that I can come down and actually shoot whatever bow I want. And you guys are super, you're very patient and super knowledgeable, but extremely patient with me when I want to shoot every new bow there is before I pick one. And then I want to shoot that bow 2 more times. So, and Lancaster Archery is great for that. If you guys want to go try out a new bow, they'll hook you up, and they'll take the time with you to make sure that bow fits you and your shooting style. So, I just wanted to give that shout out, Chris. You guys have been great with me.
That.
Well, speaking of time, what time would you suggest people to get there? Like, what's the best time you think for these 2 days?
Well, I tell you what, Friday earlier the better. That's the way I've always said. We'll actually have a food truck there that will be cooking breakfast sandwiches, lunch, and into dinner. Wow. So, then on Saturday, if you're coming up on Saturday, we have our archery auction. Registration starts at 7:30 and the auction begins at 9 a.m. That is an absolute auction. So if it doesn't bring much, it sells. So there's no reserves on any of that product. And
what does that consist of? I mean, is it like overstock, or is it
some overstock? No, some of it is what we're enticing people to come in. So
Cool.
We may have Matthews Halon 32 in the auction, or we may have one of the PSE carbon bows.
Wow.
And then we'll have tree stands and crossbows, and so. It's not that auction. It's not about making the money, because we won't ever sell you anything over retail price. It's about bringing people in and letting them get some good deals on that day.
Wow.
Rob started that, years ago, and it's grown every year. Now, one of our technicians, Chase Knoll, will be doing the auction. which is it's going to be his first run at it this year. So
that's a great idea. Auctions are always fun. The one up at Brickersville we kind of go to every year, and that's always fun to sit through. And growing up around Lee Tees, they have auctions with Bickles auction.
Yeah,
auctions are always fun. That was a great idea, guys.
I know that, like, when you spend some time around some of the local archery shops like Lancaster Archery, and you, like, kind of like I do, and you know what things are going for, you could be the smartest guy in the room if you're opportunistic.
Yeah, that's what's nice with Google. It makes everybody equal.
You're giving away some stuff too, right, Chris?
Giving away a lot of stuff, guys. We got Yeti did us a special build on a 20-ounce Rambler with our logo on it. And
nice.
Get you some.
Those are a limited run, and those are going to be free with a $150 purchase. Now, we'll also be asking for email and text update signups with that, but that does come with a $150 purchase.
That's almost worth it right there.
That's a set of arrows.
Yeah.
First 100 people that come in on Friday will receive a 2-ounce bottle of nose jammer.
Well, for someone that's never been to your shop, tell us what, from like top to bottom, can you outfit someone to go hunting in one day in one stop shop?
Oh, for sure. We have everything in stock. If I don't have it in the shop itself, we have an 80,000 square foot facility that we can pull inventory from Leola, and that's only about a half-hour turnaround time. So if I don't have it, I can send a runner to our warehouse. They can grab it for you, bring it back, and you're out the door. We also we have our Lancaster Archery Academy with some of the top instructors in the country there. We also offer private lessons, group lessons.
Hey, Chris, one thing I think you guys are known for in the area is with your academy, how young you start them. Do you want to touch base on that?
We try to start, in that 7-8-year-old, but we will accommodate, anybody younger than that. With Rob's relationship in the archery industry, it's been one of his dreams to grow the sport of archery. And with the academy, that's his giving back to the industry to continue the archery legacy.
Very good. How many kids do you think go through that program a year?
Well, we've had, in the last 4 years, we've had over 10,000 new exposures to archery through the academy.
Wow, that's really great.
That's a lot more than I would have thought.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Wow.
Some of our JOAD members, next week they leave for outdoor nationals. They shoot Vegas. They travel the circuit and are continuing to grow with the sport. And it's funny to watch these kids, because I've known some of them since they were 8, and now they're driving, and some of them are working for me.
It's amazing where
That's awesome.
the sport of competition archery has gone. I mean, when I was young and I started with a PSE Spirit Junior, and that was like the top of the line bow at the time for how small I was, and to put that against some of the youth tournament bows nowadays, it's wow, has the industry taken a leap? And it just shows you how old I am, I guess. But it's Chris, we're excited, man. I know at least a few of us will be down there, and I know since you said the food truck will be there, I know R2 will be there early because we like breakfast.
You're serving breakfast.
We'll still be eating breakfast when the food truck serves lunch.
It's on.
So what were the dates and times for that again?
The 18th and 19th of August, so it's going to be on a Friday and Saturday. We open at 9 a.m. on Friday, close down at 9 p.m. or when the last customer decides to abandon ship. Saturday, we're open at 8 a.m., but auction registration will start at 7:30. So half hour before we open, we'll have it open for for the auction registration.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're definitely going to see at least 3 of the R2 guys there, and you'll be able to pick us out plain as day because we'll all be lobstered up getting back from our Florida fishing trip because we're going down to Miami and Fort Lauderdale just before that to do some peacock bass and snook fishing, tarpon. So none of us are used to the 110-plus degree weather or whatever it is supposed to be. But looking forward to the show, buddy. I really am. Thanks, Chris.
One thing I do want to mention, guys, is Lancaster Archery is now selling hunting licenses.
Oh wow!
Oh, great!
Something we haven't done, since we opened the doors in 1983. So this is the first year of it, and so if you haven't gotten your license, come down and see us. It'll give a good reason to come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's phenomenal because I never knew you guys to do that before. So that's
one more reason.
One-stop shop, man. It really is. And it's not just archery. You guys have bags and clothes and all kinds of stuff. So you guys not been down to Lancaster Archery? Get down there and see that stuff.
Get down there.
It's a pretty amazing place.
And before you go, give us the website so people can go on and check out what's going on. So in case they forget what we're talking about.
It's www.lancasterarchery.com. We'll have everything posted on there.
Will there be any internet sales?
There will be. There will be.
Okay.
It'll be limited to a certain product, but there will be offerings on there as well.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks,
Appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. We'll talk to you soon, man.
See you, Bob.
Later.
That's awesome. Lancaster Archery is just phenomenal. Place here, kind of close to us. We're kind of lucky for that.
Yeah, really.
Everything's in our backyard. Everything cool.
Everything cool.
Almost everything.
But it's important to go to those kind of places to support them because that's the Archery Academy. That's what makes future hunters and it keeps the sport sustainable. Like those local mom and pop shops.
Well, not even that. I mean, the knowledge base.
Yes, absolutely.
Like you can't get that.
It's not like an Amazon review or something like that.
No, like these guys know exactly what you need and they'll get you there.
If you have a problem, you can probably go back to the same technician that set you up in the first place. You're not going to have the turnover like you might somewhere else.
Yeah, every guy there is an expert.
And every time I've walked in there, when somebody says, "Can I help you?" They're not just random floor salesman. When they say, "Can I help you?" and you say, "Yes, I'd like to see this," that person substantially sticks with you until you are done.
Yeah,
and that it's very rare when you go to a retail type of. You'd have to go check it out for yourself. You'll see. Walk in the door when somebody says, "Can I help you?" They'll help you.
Yeah, they're experts top to bottom on all things. Archery, bow hunting, target archery. Like it's just and if one person doesn't have, there's like 10 other guys that they can talk to.
2 of them have arrowheads.
At least 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
That means they're a brother.
That means they're a brother. Yeah. I don't know if they're still there. That was a few years ago, but yeah, they're good. They're good guys.
So, what kind of show do we have today? Do we got something crazy going on?
Fun.
I can't even say it.
Steve, you're excited for everything we do.
Isn't that crazy?
I love it. It gets better each week.
Every week, I'm more and more speechless not for long, but I'm speechless for a few seconds.
You know what I love about Stevie this week is your eyes are open. You must have gotten some rest because we really pushed and pushed this week.
You literally had to go pretty deep.
Yeah,
you went deeper.
He was in there.
Yeah,
I have picture after picture of the podcast with Deeper in the pod garage, and
I like the pod garage.
I'd say 7 out of 10 pictures, your eyes are closed, but your hands are like on your head. You're leaning back, you're talking, but your eyes were shut.
Man,
and I was actually doing a good imitation of you at work today. No, it was Go back to the last episode and listen to our buddies from Lithuania. Deeper were here with us fishing, so that's kind of what's new with us. And we covered most of it on our last podcast. And tonight we have I don't want to say episode number 2 because it is not. No. It is a totally new Barron episode.
Right.
And I'm really excited. One of my Instagram favorites to watch the Little Southern Belle. I want to say little because she's pretty petite.
Yeah.
And she catches, dare I say, bigger catfish than I do. And
sometimes bigger than she is.
Bigger than she is. And she don't need no 80-pound braid to do it. So. So if you guys don't know who we're talking about, go on Instagram and look up Hannah Barron 96. And this girl is on fire.
If you're like one of the last people to actually follow her, because
there's not many left.
I tell you what, like as soon as you if you're following R2 on Instagram, it's going to be coming up in things you might like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Hannah, along with her dad, we had Dad on, Jeff Barron.
We love Jeff,
which is just I want to say Alabama rascal because he's into everything, like custom woodworking, and I mean like from cutting the trees down to building baby cribs with that tree by hand.
Yeah.
And to protecting little baby fuzzy-headed birds from snakes, and he catches the big catfish. They have an epic brand new. I hope we get to talk about their bow fishing pontoon boat that they just built.
Wall of Bucks.
And their Instagram.
Quad tune.
Oh, yeah, it's everything. And his woodworking skills are second to none. And Hannah helps her dad with everything. And you can see this in their Instagram is if you watch both of their Instagrams, you can actually follow their life almost like a storyline. And that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Like it's amazing how they just want to tell people, check what we're doing today. And normally that's pretty boring because I get Instagram posts of people from work that, oh, look, I got a Big Mac and fries for lunch. Right. I don't really care.
Right.
But when Jeff posts pictures of Millie chasing him down for peanuts, I can't stop watching it. And very interesting people.
Millie wanted to check out the tiny house.
Millie wanted to check out the tiny house, and so we're not going to give you too many spoiler alerts because hopefully Hannah will tell us all about it tonight.
Let's get after it.
Call Alabama and get that little girl on this telephone.
Yeah.
Hello. Is this the CEO of Nightstick Bow Fishing? This is it, man. What y'all up to, boys? What's going on?
What's up, Jeff?
We're on it.
What's going on, dude?
There he is, boy. I done cut my pant legs off just for tonight. I'd got me some skinny britches on, I guess.
There you go.
I was in the Jeff Barron. I was in the whole vibe today going, oh, we got not just Jeff, we got the Barons on tonight.
That's right. Got both of them. I see it.
So we got Hannah on the phone. We actually called down
Hannah Barron?
Hannah Barron is
Hannah
on
Barron.
the phone. It's super exciting. If you guys, like I said earlier in our introduction, if you haven't followed her on Instagram yet, and you're
the only person
in the world.
There's 4 or 5 people. There's 3 Lithuanians that just joined her while they were here podcasting with us last week. But,
yeah, I'm pretty sure of that.
Yep. So if you don't know who Hannah is, you're missing out. You're going to know tonight. So welcome to the podcast, Hannah.
Hey.
And who's with you as well?
I got my daddy here, Jeff Barron.
Is that the CEO of Nightstick Bow Fishing?
It is.
No doubt, I'm here.
Oh, man.
He's a reoccurring character on the podcast. I love it.
Yeah.
So, no. I don't know how I'm going to be able to talk. I'll be laughing the whole time. Either y'all or daddy.
We can't get enough of Uncle Jeff.
Yeah.
I can't take it.
I'm not so sure that I have enough time in this podcast to ask all the questions that I want to. So I want to jump right into it with a couple of questions for Hannah. So we heard all from Jeff about Millie and the backstory on Millie. And one of my favorite videos is when you were explaining to everybody how Millie got attacked by coyotes, but they didn't get her. So they got her, but they didn't get her. You know what I mean? They ripped her up pretty good. And I'm watching your guys' life unfold that Millie's made almost, if not a full recovery. Is that correct?
She has. She's just got a few little scars.
Yeah. Well, God bless her. A pack of coyotes to not bring that little deer down. She has a big heart.
She sure does. Especially when you bring the peanuts out.
That's what we hear.
We heard, yeah.
She has a T-shirt that says, "I live for peanuts."
Yeah. Well, I saw her. Tell me, let's start. Now, something new that I just recently saw was I saw Millie checking out your little house. Tell me about your little house, Hannah.
My little house is 192 square foot plus a loft where my bed's at. It's built on a travel trailer frame. And me and Daddy built it. It didn't take us long at all. Really.
No, and Millie makes it too. She comes and goes as she pleases. So if you leave the door open, she's coming in.
Yeah, she'll walk right in.
I got you. And it's so rustic. I love it. I mean, it would make some of the nicest hunting camps I've ever seen just to shame. That you guys do such amazing. Did you do all the woodwork in that yourself?
Yes, their Daddy did. He did all that.
Wow.
My sinks and my bathtub's galvanized.
I know. I saw that. That was epic.
Wow.
Did you see it? It's
The water trough?
It's like a galvanized bathtub with a curtain around it. It's classic.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. So,
Big old water trough.
do you live in there, Hannah, or you just hang out in there? Or is that kind of your
I live in there.
awesome?
So
I love it.
I don't know if Jeff told you, but Jeff actually invited us down next year to learn how to noodle. And as long as we wear the short shorts.
That's right. Yeah.
And-
That's what I have to do.
We're part of the way
Dress
there.
code.
Yeah. Our two, the guys here, my brotherhood, don't have a lot of stipulations when we go anywhere. As long as there's corn dogs and we got some beef jerky and iced tea, we're usually pretty good. But I'm going to really ask if we can just make that the R2 compound for 2 days. We're going to take over the little house. I'm like, Hannah, we're here.
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't know that it would fit us.
Yeah. Can
Unfortunately.
you imagine all 8 of us in that little house?
Where did y'all come up with little house, though? It's tiny house.
Tiny house.
Tiny.
I got
Tiny.
you.
Yeah, you got to get with the program, man. It's tiny house.
It's a tinier, smaller house. Yep. No, it's
It's a little bitty thing.
Yeah.
But my kitchen's bigger than Daddy's.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's bigger than the one we got in this house here.
No
I don't
kidding.
know. Yeah. This one's
8 by 8.
Yeah,
Is it street legal? Can you move it around?
It
you
is,
can,
yeah.
yeah. We built it under the, I get, what is it, 13.6, I think. So those big box trucks, I think it's, or
Yeah.
those trailers, I think it's under that. So
Yeah, we had to lower the roof in my bathroom a little bit, which doesn't matter because I ain't 5 foot tall, so it's no problem. Just so I got a little more headroom in my loft.
Everybody else has got their forehead tore up from bouncing around under the,
You can't say nothing, Daddy.
No, I know to lean over. Yeah. I built it, so I know.
So, did you build tiny houses for the catfish, or did you build little houses for the catfish?
Well, they're a little small. They're a little bit smaller. We built them. We built them this year so we could reach. We're having trouble with the tractor tires getting close enough to those fish to for them to bite us. You know, and especially Hannah, because her little arms are a little bit shorter. So these boxes here are a little bit smaller.
So does she have little arms or tiny arms?
you're gonna make.
Short on.
Yeah, they're gonna give us hell back
Short. Okay. I'm going to get this right by the end of the night.
We're done using the word small forever. It is now forever tiny.
There you go.
there. Yeah,
No, it was little that you was using a while ago.
yeah,
not
little.
small.
Yeah, it's a little house. No, small house.
Keep
Wow, I thought it was little. I don't know.
That's awesome. So
Next question. Let's go.
let's roll.
How many of the custom boxes, for our listeners that don't know, you guys built custom boxes and to put out in the lake and rivers for the catfish to hide up in next year, so that you got more target areas to go out to go out and reach in these boxes. I saw I saw the Nightstick pontoon boat headed out with a truckload of them. How many did you guys deploy?
30.
Wow.
30 boxes and 1,200 pounds of steel and rocks.
Wow.
You guys have been busy.
Let me tell you, those 2 extra pontoons under that thing made all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, you could float you could probably park that F-250 on it. I think it floated, you know.
It looked like it. You looked like you had a power weight on it in that last picture there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it does good. With all that weight on it, it does real good.
See, my mind works just a tad bit different. I'm so stoked to watch you guys work and build the boxes and put the boxes out and the tires. And all my mind says is, Jeff's getting ready for Uncle Catfish to come down and learn to noodle next year. He's getting all that stuff in the water, so we got more opportunity.
That's it. That's exactly right, man. That's exactly right. And we're going to have to put y'all on some kind of video or something when y'all come down. You're going to love it, though. It's going to be off the hook, baby.
Yeah, buddy. So what's...
If you scream, it'll be documented.
Yeah. We got it then. Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't video it, it didn't happen, I guess, right?
That's right. Yeah.
We just had an Alabama heat. You sent us some heat up here last week. It was hovering around 100. One of the guys that was out kayak fishing with us this week said, I wonder if this is how Jeff feels. So what's the weather like down in Alabama? Last we talked, and it was pretty hot. It was pretty miserable.
Yeah, mid-90s. I don't even know what the humidity is, but you can't. I mean,
you can't hardly breathe when you walk outside.
Yeah, I mean, we've been working in the shop, and with the fan blowing on you, you're still soaking wet. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, got that fan in that shop. It's still it's hot though. It's real hot.
Yeah. Hannah, tell me, your dad told us a fun story about you shooting some hogs and raising some baby pigs. Tell me one of my biggest questions I always want to ask you when I watch you is, do you have a favorite animal that you raised or a favorite animal in your life? I mean, maybe it's Millie, or another animal that you remember that you got attached to?
It's Millie. You can't beat
Really?
The polecat.
I still like Millie more than our polecat.
I know, but he's
We got to hear the story of this polecat.
Yeah, now you got me interested.
You let the polecat out of the bag.
Yeah. She raised the polecat one time.
Little baby skunk. He liked me. He didn't like Daddy for some reason. I could go out there and sit in there with him and scratch him. He'd just roll over and I could rub him on the belly, and Daddy'd walk out there and he'd freak out.
Yeah, he didn't like me.
He
would smell me.
Did you get sprayed?
Yeah, huh?
Did you get sprayed?
No, but
he came close, though.
Yeah, he would act like it. He'd blow his tail up and turn around and all that, but he never did.
What'd you do when he did that? Like, I'd be in the next county running.
I was getting the hell out of the way.
You did it. I've always heard you can pick them up by the tail and they won't spray you.
You want to try that?
I'm not saying I tried it.
Good luck with that one.
It's time for you to hightail.
It never did spray, but it was sure looking like it was, about to. So I would just back off, But now she would be in the pen with the thing, and it would be just all over her.
Yeah, like me.
But now as soon as I stuck my hand in there, I could be scratching him, and he would turn around and smell my hand, and you. He'd say, he'd get pissed quick.
What was
I don't know.
Literally.
He could tell the difference,
What was his name?
That's what I was going to ask.
Even you, was that it?
That's it.
Was just
skunk. Yeah, it was creative.
Get over here, skunk.
Skunk the polecat.
that company.
The skunk.
No, I wouldn't know the. It was just skunk.
Hannah,
get over here, dear.
Hannah, I'm dying to know here too. When you go out, let's talk a little bit about noodling. When you go out noodling, what would you say is your bigger adversary, the blue cat or the flathead?
Oh, the blue cat.
Yeah.
Really?
Why's that, Hannah?
Because they bite harder, they're meaner, their darn teeth are rougher. They're just worse.
Yeah, I saw a video where you got your forearm ripped up pretty good. Was that from a blue cat?
It sure was.
Yeah.
We heard that when a blue cat bites, you can hear it 50 yards away.
It travels. It sounds like you shutting the car door.
Yeah.
That was after the podcast ended last time, where we, like laser beams shoot out their eyes and they shoot poison spikes at you. Like we're going to build up hand fishing so much on this podcast that everybody in the world is going to know. If you want to go noodling, come to the experts in Alabama.
Yeah.
They flip their tail up and spray you.
Pool cat, blue cat.
Lord mercy.
We're pretty creative over on this side.
Yeah, I'm out.
Hannah, when did you start noodling, Hannah?
I think I was 16.
Yeah?
I think so.
You remember the first fish you noodled?
I do. I didn't get bit. That was one that was pretty far back in the hole, and we had to get the hook in him.
Were you scared?
Up to the front. I was scared.
Yeah,
I was scared. First fish we ever saw caught was first fish we ever saw was about a 65-pound blue cat a boy grabbed, and then it just completely whooped his tail and tore him up.
Tore him right up.
I'm pretty sure I would have hung up my noodling career after that.
And me and Daddy was in the boat.
Yeah, I looked at Hannah, and she looked at me, and I was thinking, whoo-wee, it's a little big for me. I want something about 12 inches long or something.
Something just take a knuckle or two.
Man, it took all the hide off that dude's hand.
Yeah.
It did. That kid right there, he got tore up. And I was thinking, damn, I'm glad he's the first one to jump out of the boat. I was trying to get out of the boat, but, he was a young whippersnapper. He jumped out there, boy, and got that fish. And,
yeah, let him have it.
Huh?
Let him have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I was glad he had it, too.
Yeah.
God, big old fish.
So, Hannah, talk us through, from start to finish, what it's like feeling it out, going underwater, and just the whole experience of being underwater with this big fish.
Yeah, what goes through your mind? Absolutely.
Am I going to have enough air for this mess?
I bet.
Because I can't hold my breath for long. You stick your hand down there and you just got your eyes squinted shut because you know it's about to happen, or you hoping it is. And then they come up.
And do they try to go back down into their hole?
Oh yeah, you got to grab them.
Yeah, well, you're in the hole now. Your hand is in the hole with them.
You got to stick your hand as far as you can get it up in that hole. That's where my problem is because I got short arms and can't reach a lot of them. But if you get close to them, they'll come up and just attack your hand.
Well, now some of them you can, as soon as you stick your feet in the hole to block it,
they'll bite you on the feet.
Yeah, they'll swallow your feet. But now that's just every now and then. If but most of the time they'll be off from the hole. Back up in there.
What do you do if they swallow your foot?
They'll let go.
Yeah, they'll let go. You just sit there. Maybe he'll stay on there, and you can reach down there with your hand and grab him.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
Most of the time they just hit you. I lost my watch. Yeah, he got my arm come up on the side and got my arm from my bend of my elbow all the way to my wrist and tore my watch off. And we put that fish back in the hole, and every time you go down, he would hit whatever was, wouldn't he? Mm-hmm. He would hit whatever you put in that hole. We were trying to find the watch. You couldn't get it because he would just hit you every time you go in there.
Is that old Father Time?
Yeah.
That was. Yeah, I had to go to Walmart. Me and wife did the next day, and get me a new watch.
That's great, Hannah. I want you to start the hashtag that catfish ate my watch.
Where'd my watch go?
We still don't know where it went.
Blue cat got my watch.
So, I get from what you're saying, as far as having enough air and stuff, if they latch on, if you don't have help, you got to have someone there to help out. This isn't one person sport, right?
What is the noodling?
Yeah.
Oh no, I want somebody in the water with me to pull me up in case I get stuck down there. But that ain't from the catfish biting. It's from you can be trying to pull that catfish out of his hole, and where they blow it up, they'll blow sand in the front of it and make the hole smaller. So when you pulling them out, they can get stuck. That's when it gets scary.
Yeah, the blues bite so hard you have to leave the glove with him sometimes because, just to get your hand out so you can get up and get air. You know what I'm saying?
So while you're pulling on this catfish, it's blowing whatever, making the hole smaller while you're completely underwater.
No. See,
he does that when he first goes into bed. They fan it out and make it clean for their eggs.
Yeah, they'll blow a hole out like a bowl, big old bowl inside of, and when they do, the rim of that bowl is actually covering up their hole.
Gotcha.
So when you stick your hand, you stick your hand in there, you just could, it might be a 4-inch wide hole by 12 inches long. Well, you stick your hand in there and he bites down on it. When you try to pull loose, you're really just, you're wedging his jaws even tighter down on your hand. The harder you pull, it's wedging his bite harder on you. So you have to leave the glove with him sometimes. Just pull your hand out. Just go to snatching.
Yeah, and get some air.
Yeah.
So when your hand's in there, are you wiggling your fingers or anything, or are you just putting your hand in?
Most of the time, you ain't got to wiggle your fingers.
No, you ain't no wiggling. He's biting so hard, man, you just hanging on. He's hanging on to you.
You don't make a come here sign with your finger? Yeah, come on over here, big boy.
We fan at them to get them to bite.
Sometimes if they're back in the back and they don't want to come to the front, we'll try to cause some commotion.
Yeah, we'll fan at them and then they'll come up and.
But if they're right at the mouth of the hole, you ain't got to do nothing. You just stick your hand down there and wait.
Yeah, he's right there.
You ain't got to wait long.
How do you know it's definitely a catfish and not one of these, a beaver or a turtle or because you're saying that they can bite your toes a little bit. I mean, what's the determining factor that you know it's definitely a catfish?
Well, it won't be
There ain't no definite thing, but they can't get no air down there, so that's going. A beaver and a turtle ain't going to be down there because there ain't no air pockets.
Okay.
And if there's anything else in there, that catfish is meaner than anything else that's going to be in the water, and he'll run.
That doesn't make me feel very good.
You don't really know.
The meanest thing in the water is going to be in this hole, I guarantee it.
That'd be your luck, Steve.
Now, there
ain't no doubt. Yeah, you won't. I don't think you could stick a turtle in there. You couldn't stick a turtle in there. Oh, my goodness. He'd blow that turtle out.
Yeah. Well,
they're just.
I've fished. I was telling Jeff Hanna that I'm a tournament cat fisherman for years, and noodling's not allowed here in Pennsylvania for whatever reason. Nor did we grow up doing it, so nobody around here really does it. So it's not like a family tradition, which is really a big part for me. Why I find it so intriguing of catfishing since I could walk and becoming a tournament cat fisherman. And we have the horse troughs, the cat boxes on the tournament boats, and we have to take these cats in to weigh in, and we have to weigh them in, and they have to swim away alive or else you're disqualified. So you have to take great care of these cats all day long, 24-hour tournament, 10-hour tournament, keeping them aerated. And one of the things that Jeff said was sometimes when you reach back in the tank, they can get you again. And that part I understand. I've had my knuckles ripped up, dozens and dozens of times taking them to weigh in. But for me to get under the water in the dark and reach my hand back in a hole that I don't know what's in there, there's something so
primal.
I don't want to use the word scary to me, because if you go back to down in a hole, I mean, I've climbed in fox dens and ripped foxes out of dark holes.
It's not like there's a clown down there.
No, but this is underwater, so it's
you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Underwater clown.
Yeah, underwater.
They're the worst.
Clownfish. No, we just this weekend I had to swim down 18 feet and cut an anchor off that was caught up. And just going down 18 feet just to cut a paracord and come back up, I was very short of breath.
And then you smacked your head on the kayak.
I did. I come up too fast, smashed my head on the kayak, bottom of the kayak under the water. But I had that feeling. I had that feeling of knowing the surface was right there, but I was out of air.
Yeah.
Like I had that feeling of, oh crap, I'm out of air and I'm not at the surface yet. I couldn't imagine having a 30, 40-pound blue cat
How far down?
mad and attached to me at the same time.
How far down are the cats? roughly?
We don't check, or Daddy won't let me check any deep holes, and I don't really want to check any deep holes either, but they can be anywhere from right up against the bank to as deep as you want to go.
Wow. I dropped a pair of pliers in a river earlier last week while I was fishing, and it was only maybe 3 feet, but I dropped them in some pretty thick grass, and I had to noodle for those. And I was pretty scared.
We were all pretty proud of you, buddy.
Yeah.
That was pretty primal to noodle a pair of pliers out of 3 feet of water.
It was an experience, let me tell you. So I know exactly what you're going through there.
I bet. Exactly.
40-pound blue cats.
The pliers could have got you good.
Oh,
there might have been a crayfish there.
Those pliers could have been open.
Yeah, they could have been open. There was
And then you could have stepped on them, too.
I could have stepped on them.
Shut them at the wrong instance
exactly.
while you're picking them up.
The dangers of plier noodling are endless.
That's why it's illegal here in Pennsylvania.
Thankfully, the Game Commission wasn't around to see that happen.
Well, Hannah, out of all the outdoor stuff that you do, is noodling the most fun you have, or what? Or is it just a combination of everything that you do? Like as far as hunting and fishing?
Deer hunting are my two favorites. Yeah, noodling and deer hunting are my two favorites.
Okay. So I guess...
depends what time of year it is.
Okay, so yeah, you got something for the spring and summer and then something for the fall. Anything to do? What do you do in the winter then?
Well, that's deer hunt. Our rut is in January.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
It's Alabama. They don't have winter.
Yeah.
It's like...
about that.
I hear you. Did y'all see my peanut field I showed on there the other day? Did y'all get to look at it?
Yeah. Yep.
Neat, huh?
It is.
Yeah.
Is that where you kill the coyotes?
Yeah, well, we will, yeah, but not now, huh?
Right.
No, we're working on the hogs right now.
Were you sitting up in the tree? Were you sitting out over the peanut field?
No, we were sitting on the cornfield then. They're wearing that corn out. Now they'll start working on them peanuts, so I don't know why they haven't. It's just they got to go through a couple of more fences, I guess, hog wire fences, and they hadn't found it yet or whatever. But
how big is that peanut field, Jeff?
Do I now?
How big is that peanut field?
That one's 40? Probably 40 acres, I reckon. I don't know.
A lot of peanuts.
Yeah, hogs can root up that pretty quick, though, can't they?
Yeah, they can. If you got a bunch of them, yeah, they can work on them pretty good. Yeah.
Do they have any kind of requirements or regulations on how many of these pigs you can actually shoot?
No, kill them all is what they say.
Our government now is, we used to could trap them and then you could bring them home and feed them out or whatever you wanted to do. But now I think it's a felony.
You cannot transport a pig.
You can't even feed them in the trap anymore. The government wants you to kill them right there. You can't even leave them in the trap and feed them.
They're just spreading that bad.
No, let me tell
terrible.
you, the insurance companies is on the government to do something about it because the farmers it's just what they killing everything, man. They wearing out everything.
Yeah. So that's going to be on the top of my checklist. If we ever do, we have so many people that we talk through on this podcast. We just had some friends from Lithuania stop by this weekend and videotape some fishing. And the more friends that we meet, like you, Hannah, and you, Jeff, and we get a chance a couple times a year to go visit people. If we ever actually do get a chance to come visit you guys, on the top of my list will be a Jeff and Hannah Barron ham sandwich. Like, you may or may not have some ham down there, I'm sure.
You might get a polecat sandwich.
No.
Yeah, y'all come on when you get ready, man.
Yeah.
We'll work it out. We'll work out that time period where you think it's the right month or whatever. Yeah. We'll get that on the date.
I want y'all to catch a catfish, man. You're gonna love it. And y'all were talking about being not being comfortable 18 feet underwater. And, that's all going to come with time. I mean, anything you do, the more you do it, the more at home you're going to be with it. It's
sure.
it just takes time.
Yeah.
And see, we've done it so much, we want to come up bleeding. You know, we want that fish to just, the harder he hits me, the more I like it.
Right. You get almost a boxer mentality.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, man, that can come up. He hit me on both forearms, and it looked like jaws got a hold of me. Man, I was bleeding like a stuck hog, and I loved it. I mean, it just adds that much more to it to me.
Ready to get right back in on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, put him back in there and let's do it again. Let's catch him again. You know, we've done that. You know, but some of them are just that aggressive, you know.
Wow.
It's amazing to me how hard the head actually on a blue cat can be. Like the bone on the top of his head literally is almost like a small steel plate.
It is. You're right. You are exactly right. And he's got jaws like a turtle, man.
Yeah.
Do they still have the spikes on their
No, the pectoral fins,
the dorsal fin? Yeah.
They do, but they're blunt when they get big like that. They're
rounded.
blunt.
On the flatheads, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, those blues though, when you start catching some of them smaller ones, they're still sharp.
You
know?
ever get stuck with one of them?
I have, but not by.
When we were bow fishing, on the nightstick bow fishing, you know,
Yeah.
we stuck a small blue cat, and Daddy stepped on him.
Ooh.
And run the fin up in his foot.
I bet you that hurt for weeks.
Turned blue.
Yeah.
If there's ever anything that can happen.
No, don't say that, because
It's so far.
You still alive.
Baby, I ain't told nothing about being alive. I know that. But if there's ever anything that can happen, it's going to happen to me.
No.
Yeah, buddy.
Keep going with your Instagram. You've 99% proven that.
Uncle Catfish says that the dorsal fin's for attracting chicks.
That's what it's for. Yep. The bigger the dorsal fin, the more chicks that come around.
That's right. That's why I'm having a hell of a time beating them off of me.
That's right. So on
Big old dorsal fin there.
It's podcast appropriate, Anna says. Let's go right into nightstick bow fishing since we brought the boat up.
That's right.
Your new vessel that you just built, 4 tunes, and it's a big old barge. How long is that boat?
It's 20. It's only 24, but it's
solid.
Yeah, it's 8. It's 8 by 24 is what it is. Yeah.
Really? That's how big my house is.
Yeah.
It looks like in your last post when you had all the boxes and tires on it and Hannah's hanging off the side of the boat, it almost looks like you guys need walkie-talkies to talk from the front to the back if you're bow fishing.
A lot of room on there.
It's big. Yeah, I have to stand up. You know, I made the seat is a cooler, you know. You got to multitask with this stuff, man. You got to save space and all that.
Sure.
But I had to stand on the seat and steer with my foot just to be able to see over all this stuff where we was headed and everything. But yeah, it's perfect for that right there, for putting out those. I hate to mess it up and put bow fishing lights on it, and because it's so good for, like building boat houses or something like that. It would be perfect for that too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would just tote so much of a load. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I think it would have carried twice what we had on there yesterday,
It's incredible. I think something that big, you got to watch out for pirates.
Yeah, the Somali pirates are going to get you.
That's right.
They'll take it over. Hannah, do you have a funny bow fishing story with you and your dad or anybody that's been bow fishing with you?
Anytime you go fishing with Daddy, it's pretty funny.
I can imagine.
No, I don't believe that for a
But
second.
you got Trip too now, remember?
Yeah,
Trip?
because we got my cousin, and they both get half lit and get this hitting each other and frog jigs, and Daddy cracked me over the head one night with a bow. Yeah, I didn't shoot fast enough. He said, "Hannah, look, there's a fish! Shoot it back!"
Did he apologize?
I mean, just brought it down right on top of my head. Whack!
we're supposed to go fishing in Louisiana. Oh, what, in the next 2 weeks? We're supposed to go bow fishing down there with somebody.
Premier bow fishing.
Nice.
No, that's epic.
They got all kinds of fish over there.
Yeah, and I think whatever you can shoot down there, it ain't like here. You can't shoot, and you're not supposed to shoot game fish and stuff like that.
You can shoot redfish there.
Yeah, down there
That's what I was going to say, yeah.
What can we shoot up here, guys? Just
You can
carp,
shoot
right?
bufflehead. You can shoot carp. You can shoot catfish. You're not allowed to target bass, walleye, things like that are species targeted by high anglers.
Yeah.
Game fish. Yeah, no game fish. That's the way it is here too. Yeah, same thing. You said y'all don't have gar right around there, right? Or
we have no gar here. Nope.
In Maryland, we do.
Close to us, but not here. We have snakeheads and gar within an hour of here, and but not right where we're at. No.
Now, see, we don't have snakeheads here. How long have y'all had those?
From what we understand, close to 15 years. It's kind of like the first time they've showed up in the Potomac River, some of the tributaries around here, and they're a lot like your pigs. They take over. They breed. They have no natural predators.
I saw an article that we got one caught in the Susquehanna somewhere. But
Really?
I heard rumors of that in our main artery. Susquehanna River here is our main artery river. It's our backyard, and they did have rumors that one was caught. Yep.
But I bet you they get eaten by the catfish pretty good.
Oh, the flatheads probably eat them, and they're smaller, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I would eat them. The snakeheads taste amazing from what I hear.
That's what I heard, yeah.
Where do they come from?
Here, as I don't want to say legend, but as story has it, the best that I could backtrack it, there was actually a guy in Maryland who had 3 ponds on his property that brought them from somewhere. They're originally from Asia. They brought them in, and they were actually raising them in the ponds. And this was back in, I want to say 91 or 88. So it's like the Potomac River flooded really, really bad. I think it was in 88. And flooded all 3 of his ponds, which then connected to the river. And I guess hundreds and hundreds of these small ones were then obviously let loose into that's the rumor, kind of the probably 60% of the truth story that I heard, but I think that's the actual backstory of where they came from here in the Maryland.
Well, see, I think Florida's got them. Florida's got them too.
Yeah.
I knew they had them. We down in the Everglades. Yeah, they got those big, what is it, anacondas or something? Pythons or something. They having trouble with all that mess.
I'm pretty sure Florida has everything. Florida's the new Australia.
Right.
If it can bite you and kill you, it's probably in Florida because the pet stores let things go.
Well, that's just the people.
That's just I didn't even get into the animals yet, right? Yeah. Yeah, we're actually headed to Florida next week. Hannah and Jeff were to go
peacock bass.
Thank you. Peacock bass.
Snakehead, snook.
Man, that'll be fun right there. I've been watching them on Instagram catching peacock bass. They originated Brazil, or where did they come from?
Yeah, down in the Amazon River. Yep.
Amazon, yeah. Mm-hmm. They say they don't get quite as big. We were talking to what's Zach's last catch 'em?
Bagby.
Who?
Zach Bagby's his name.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was Ketchum.
No.
Well,
that's what he does.
He bags and catch.
But I mean, do y'all follow Zach? Ketchum?
Catch 'em all fishing.
Catch 'em all fishing?
We do now. Not as soon as we look them up.
Yeah. Anyway, he said they don't get quite as big. You catch them 20-pounders. Down there, I think 10 pounds is going to be a big one. But, they say they just blow a topwater lure up, Just knock the paint off that son of a gun. That'd be fun right there.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Hannah, what's the earliest memory you have of being in the outdoors with your dad? It's obvious you guys have a very a special relationship there. So I'm interested to hear more about that.
You don't know how difficult a question that is.
Is it?
'Cause I have a lot. There's when I was a little tiny thing, don't know how old, he'd take me down to the creek and with a net, and we'd run the net through the creek and fill up a aquarium I had with brim and minnows and crawfish and all kinds of mess. And then when I was little and he'd take me hunting and I talked him into shooting a spike that had broke one of his horns off, I said, Daddy, shoot him as a unicorn.
Yeah.
and helping him clean them. When I was a little tiny thing, he'd cut the piece of meat off, hand it to me, and I'd go put it in a trash bag.
Yeah, tender-hearted thing, I know it. Yeah.
Yep.
Talking with Jeff last time on the podcast, we're like, you got 3 hogs hanging and another 3 or 4 in the back of the bed of the truck, and it's just
and then you got Millie walking around.
Yeah.
That's a long night.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's over there chewing on the pig.
That's a
You
long
over
night.
here with catfish.
Yeah.
She loves catfish meat.
Yeah, she'll eat it.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
talking about, seriously, fellas, I'm not talking
Load
about
up.
just, snacking on it. I'm talking about this
Load.
deer is eating some raw catfish.
That's incredible.
She's like me around corn dogs. I eat
yeah.
them till I blow up.
Uncle Catfish can't get enough of cornballs.
I love corn dogs. I'm not joking. If they had like a pack of 100 corn dogs, and there's that fella that was up in New York, that little Chinese fella that just ate 78 hot dogs.
Yeah.
Coney Island hot dogs. He ate 78 hot dogs in 10 minutes and set the world record. You make them corn dogs, I'll beat him.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
78 how long?
10 minutes, 78 hot dogs with the bread.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, new world record, yep. And they're not just any hot dog. They're like the Coney Island
What's his name?
something type of hot
Joey
dogs.
Chestnut.
What's his name?
I think it's Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut,
Joey Chestnut.
the world hot dog eating champion.
I thought there was a little Asian.
Kobayashi is.
Yeah, Kobayashi.
He's old news.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut's
He's
the real deal now.
And Hannah, this guy's not much bigger than you are. You imagine eating 78 hot dogs?
I might can do it. Just ask Daddy, though. I can eat.
She can eat now. She can have some groceries. These be so small. She can have some groceries.
Oh, that's a great question for our listeners. Hannah, since this is your show, tell us some stuff about you. What's your favorite food? What do you
Beer meat.
you got a favorite soda down there?
I like sweet tea.
Sweet tea.
That's what I'm talking about.
What kind of chocolate?
Anything.
Reese.
I like Reese's
Reese's.
cups,
Yeah, I like
Snickers
Reese's.
bars, anything.
I happen to know somebody who works for the Hershey Company.
Oh my Lord!
Well,
Tell
yeah.
him to sponsor us, and I will.
I'm very, very close to this person. My wife works for the Hershey
She's actually sitting upstairs. Yeah.
Company. Yeah.
I would weigh 300 pounds if I worked. for Reese's Cups.
So maybe it's a reason that you guys should come up here. Well, you don't even want to know. You drive through Hershey, the smell, it just overwhelms
You
you.
gain 3 or 4 pounds just driving through.
Smell the-
Breathing.
You just gave me a great idea. If Hannah and Jeff ever come up to the Great American Outdoor Show, which
Yeah.
is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
in February, which you're probably still killing deer at that point.
Yeah. That is the
What day in February, y'all?
it's 9 days in February. It is the biggest outdoor show in the world. It's here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and it's like 10 minutes away. It's in our backyard.
What?
Do you know the date?
Yeah, what date? Yeah, what's the date?
I'll look while we're
The secretaries,
we're talking.
the technicians. looking
Man
it up.
secretary.
Yeah.
Well,
Mansatary.
I was wondering, Hannah, you like deer hunting. What's your favorite? If you have to impress somebody with a buck you killed, not maybe the size, but the story. What story would you tell?
Oh. What you think, dude?
Don't ask me.
I'm thinking.
You done killed 100 and something. You're going to have to come up with one of them.
Well, that's a pretty good story in itself.
100.
Oh my!
Probably the one I called up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she can grunt now. She can grunt one up with her mouth.
Well, give us your best grunt call.
Yeah, do it.
Oh, gosh. I ain't done it since deer season.
Yeah, you better run back.
That's a mouth call. That's your mouth. There's nothing.
She's actually doing that.
Yeah?
Yep, I can do that in a pig.
That's incredible.
Yeah, y'all listen to her hog. Can you do it? Right? Here we go.
You're kidding.
That's not real.
Hannah, you are amazing. That is phenomenal right there.
Not real. That's not real.
Do that again, would you?
You got Steve's head rolling around
one
back
more time.
sideways like the Exorcist up here. You know what's going on.
All right, do it. Do
I
it.
don't know. I hear somebody talking and there's somebody else saying again.
Again. Go with it, yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right.
That I don't have words.
Hannah needs to come up to the Great American Outdoor Show. You would be a phenomenal phenomenon up here.
The only one in the wild pig call contest.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's crazy. We've got a whole entire room at the show that is nothing but calls, wild game calls. And you hear ducks and geese and turkeys.
People pay a lot of money to do that
Foxes
stuff.
all day long. And the 25 years I've been going to the outdoor show religiously every year, we don't have any wild hog calls.
Well, does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was top them anyway.
Yeah, well, no, it brought that big bull hog that time. You remember that one you shot?
Mm-hmm.
Back there behind James Sr.
Well, when me and Hunter were hunting, you could hear them down there where they was, I guess they was in that creek down there. And as soon as I did that, here they come.
Yeah.
Wow.
It worked. So it'll work.
So that show we're talking about, the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, is February 3rd through 11th.
No,
Next year.
last week of deer season.
It is.
Yeah, that's what we figured for you. If you do ever want to come up, it is the biggest outdoor show in the world. So
That means you got to get all your killing done before that.
you got to fill all your tags before that week.
Yeah.
We might come up there though, fellas. Really, seriously.
Check it out.
If you do, get a hold of us. We'll have some. When the show's not going on, we'll have some fun stuff for you guys to do.
Yeah, that'll work good. Yeah, it's gonna be a drive right there and snow and everything else. Boy, you know it's gonna be.
Yeah, normally it's snowing up here for the show. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah,
Probably the last 3 hours you might hit snow, but
Once you get out of Maryland, once you get about halfway through Maryland to Harrisburg, it's probably.
If you can get to Orlando, though, you can fly right out of there right into Harrisburg, which is right near us. So that's about 6 or 7 hour drive for you, right?
Probably be cheaper than to fly than it is to drive. Yeah.
I ain't never flown in a big plane.
It ain't all that much fun, Hannah. I'm flying to Florida, and I'm not looking forward to it.
I think when you guys come,
there's always some heavy set lady behind me that wants to bump my seat with her knees and
rub your beard.
Yeah, she smells like Polo cologne, or she wants to rub my beard. And what you reading there, son?
Are you guys brothers?
Yeah, we get that a lot.
So, I think that we're gonna have a bunch of GoPros on us, and then I think we're gonna go to Walmart and have you hit that hog call.
See them all come running.
You're right up behind somebody.
I just want to see what happens. That'd be great content for our social medias.
That would be awesome.
So, speaking of social media, Hannah, you have over 90,000 followers on your Instagram page?
Yes,
right? How? What got you started with Instagram? Like, I mean, how did you? Was it you just one day started posting and people started watching, or what was it that triggered that?
I had a video go viral.
That wasn't what got you started, though. You've been doing it before.
Well, that's because everybody at school did it. I've had it since I was in high school.
Yeah.
But when that video went viral, that's when it took off, and I actually started gaining followers.
Now, which was the video that kicked it off? The one that went viral.
one noodling. I caught about a 30-pound catfish, and my cousin was in the background.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be good in some grease, saying all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Here's the greatest thing that I keep saying. And my father's a little older, and he doesn't really understand Facebook and Instagram, and he kind of has a bad taste for some of the social media stuff because there's some bad stuff on it out there. There can be some pretty rough things on it that can turn my stomach. But since Instagram has exploded, we have met more friends like you, Jeff, and more friends like you, Hannah, through interesting people, because that's what we search for, is to find not just industry pros or company owners, or, we love Sonic campfire stories. Real people. And Instagram is just a tool to help us find those people and talk with them and share you guys' life and our life with the world. And you guys keep doing what you're doing because it's working. Everybody loves you guys. We love you guys. And, I'll be honest with you, you don't really know how much it actually affects people, because I look forward to you guys' next post. Like, it makes my day better when I get to see what Jeff's building. It makes my day when I get to see, what Hannah and Millie's doing. So,
I mean, to his point, Bud, we're stuck in our jobs, doing whatever, and you're getting to do a lot of the things we would probably prefer to be doing.
Right.
So, that's the cool part, man. We love that.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, fellas. Sure do.
Hannah, how do you like living off the beaten trail down there?
Well, that's how I've lived my whole life, so I don't think I could stand living, where you can see pavement.
Does Millie ever chase your dad up and down that driveway when he's jogging?
She doesn't like the vehicle too much.
Well, no, when I'm jogging.
Oh, when he's jogging?
Does he really jog 3 times a week?
Yeah, he's crazy. I don't.
In the heat.
I hate running.
I've hurt my back, so I've been off for about a month. I hadn't been running.
Now, this is how it goes. Daddy tears up his back. Tore up, half crippled. And this is what he does. He told me, he said, I got a shot in my back yesterday, and it was better until I jogged this morning.
Oh. Yeah.
You got to take your break, bud.
Yeah.
Until I cut a tree down this morning, planed it down, and made a beautiful table. My hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then carried it on my back.
Yeah. I don't know why my back hurts.
What we do, though, y'all, is my wife, Lisa, she'll feed Millie on the back porch. And when she feeds her on the back porch, I'll run out the front, I'll run out the front door and then just take off running down the driveway. So Millie's on the back porch, with the fan running, and she just lays down right there, so she never knows I'm gone. Unless the wind's coming out of the southeast, and then she might smell me, and then she'll come. But I try not to, I really don't want her to go all the way to the dirt road, because I don't know. I don't want her to get down there and get run over, right. See her and shoot her or whatever. If she gets used to doing that, then.
Right.
So far, she's staying right here. I got to get her some kind of Velcro orange collar.
It's funny you said that. I was going to mention that earlier. I think the R2 guys should get together and make Millie a nice orange vest. R2 vest for hunting season. You think you could rope her into wearing an orange vest for dogs hunting season?
Probably so. Yeah, I know I could do a collar or something. Some kind of orange collar, or she might wear a vest. I don't know.
I know a couple of guys that are actually professionals at painting animals.
It's a fun.
Now we talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a big 01 on her side and make her look like the General Lee or some shit.
General Lee Millie.
That's perfect. Have her jump in a ditch or something.
All right.
I didn't even think that was funny. You never even said anything. You just went, ha.
I love it.
She's used to hearing all this crap. She don't even think nothing about it, man.
All right, you two. This is the time where you get to both have a moment. I want Jeff, and I want Jeff to tell me, if you can, a quick funny story about Hannah. And I would like Hannah to tell me a quick funny story about your dad. And the other person's not allowed to interrupt or argue till you're done.
I gotta think.
I don't know. A funny story about you. She backed into my hunting truck back during deer season.
Rolled into it.
Rolled it. No, you're not supposed to interrupt me, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she blowed my tail light out and hers. Now, this was just, a couple of months ago. All right. Anyway, so she got hers. Her boyfriend fixed hers. Okay, mine is still busted on my old hunting truck, but that's all right because it is what it is. It's an old hunting truck. So the other day, she backs out from her tiny house, and she just tears the hell out the side of her truck on a pine tree. Oh, man.
It must be something in the air, Jeff. I had a trailer that's not normally in my driveway with 4 kayaks on it. I believe it's Brad's. Yeah, and Brad's sitting here with me. His trailer's sitting in. My wife has a small burnt orange Mitsubishi Eclipse, and if you've ever seen one of those, they're made of plastic.
That's it.
Yeah, and I was sitting in the house, so she backed up. I heard crash. I went outside, and she put a nice hole right in the back bumper of her Mitsubishi Eclipse as she knocked the trailer off the wheel chocks. Didn't hurt the trailer none, but sure did some damage to her car. So it must be something in the air, Hannah. Don't feel bad about
Well, that's the only things I've ever backed into, though.
Can I tell one about Lisa?
Yes, of course you can.
All right, listen. I'm over here across the pond, and I was cutting logs with a chainsaw. I had switched the chainsaw off, and my wife, that old hunting truck we got, it's a 99 Ford F-150. It's a 5-speed. Well, we've got a deer pen in the back. The backyard is 16 acres is fenced in, and we've got some fallow deer in there. Anyway, the driveway behind the house here it's pretty steep. Well, anyway, she had used my truck to go to the mailbox or something. When she pulled it back up in the yard, she got out of it, walked in the house. I was over there cutting logs, and I heard it sounded, you could hear the motor. You knew the truck was rolling in gear. Well, it hit that 8-foot fence. That's the only thing that kept it from going in the pond.
Oh.
Yeah, and anyway, when I got over here, it looked like it was all the way across the top of the cab of the truck, the wire was, and it had hung up in the back end. It had split the wire. It was a mess. It looked like a damn banana wrapped around my truck. I mean, it was crazy. And my wife was snatching the door because she knew I was going to freak out when I saw my hunting truck right there. She was trying to get in that thing so bad. I mean, she couldn't get in it because, you couldn't open the door because it had wire wrapped all the way around it. But that was a mess there.
Now, how deep would have the pond been? Would it have swallowed the truck?
How would have what now?
The pond.
The pond. How deep? How would it have swallowed the truck?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it would have been gone. Ain't no doubt. And it was headed right to it. What it is she put it in 5th gear, She put it in 3rd or 5th, I can't remember, instead of putting it in 1st.
Yeah.
Not knowing it. She just slammed it up in a gear and got out. And you could hear that motor, whoa, and then all this fence stretching and shit popping everywhere.
Oh, my. Hannah, do you have a retort for your dad?
Well, in my defense, I rolled back into the hunting truck. I thought it was in drive, but it was in neutral, so when I was pushing the gas, it wasn't going forward. It was still rolling back. And it didn't tear it up that bad.
And didn't mess it up that bad. It don't matter.
That's not your fault at all, then.
You got to come up with something.
Oh, I got one.
Do you got one?
Yeah, if we talking about vehicles and running over stuff, when I was a little tiny thing.
While we're talking about it.
while we're talking about it, we used to raise cows. We had we had cows, and it was real cold one morning. Daddy was too impatient to wait for the defrost to kick in on this old truck we had, and he was looking through a little tiny spot in the window that had melted, probably the size of a quarter.
It was about the size of a quarter.
And we was coming down the driveway, and boom, we hit a cow. It was laying in the driveway. It got out of the pen and was laying in our driveway.
No, it was them. The cows were in the yard then. It was I had a cattle gap right here at the front.
Well, anyways,
That kept them out of the yard, but yeah.
Daddy ran over a cow.
Listen to this, y'all. You could fire that little red S10 up and drive through the field, and this damn cow would be 400 yards, and all you could see was her ass in, son. She was leaving. She hated that truck after that, man. It was something else. Boy, she had to go, Betty.
So it was the S10 that you ran over the cow with?
Yeah, it was.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good.
We just hit her.
Yeah, it didn't run over. It just, what it is she was laying down in the road in the driveway, and I didn't see her. You know, I was looking. The sun was hitting the windshield, and I had seriously about a 50-cent piece I was looking through.
We know all about that up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet y'all. Yeah, it's cold.
I drive 30 minutes to work like that sometimes.
Anyhow.
Yeah, but when she stood up about the time I hit her, so it squished up the front of the truck pretty bad. But all it did was roll her, and she got back up, and buddy, she lit a shuck. She was gone.
She's all right.
The floorboard.
Yeah, Hannah ended up the floorboard. You just scared the mess out of me, but she was all right.
Speaking of driving, Hannah, I grew up kind of out in the country myself, not quite like you, but how old were you when you started driving around the property?
What, like 13?
Yeah.
Sounds
Probably.
about right.
Do you ever get to drive the rock crawler UTV thing that your dad built out of an old Bronco?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That thing looks like fun.
It is. Transmission's messed up now, ain't it? Transmission?
Yeah, transmission's messed up.
Yeah, we got to get it fixed.
Got to fix it. We're going to go look at her
My first truck.
her first truck tomorrow. She sold it, and now the people are wanting to get rid of it. So we may go buy it back. How long has it been? 3 or 4 years?
Yeah.
We built it when she was
14.
13.
13.
13. Yeah, it's
you got to get that back.
Yeah.
79 Chevrolet with the 350 and we put the 9-inch lift on it and the super swampers and all that stuff. So we camouflaged it up. It's a good looking truck. I don't know what it looks like now, but it's a lot cheaper now. So we're gonna probably get it back.
It sounds like a family heirloom that just needs to be on the property regardless.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know how they were though? They were bad about rusting. I can only imagine how long one would last up there where y'all are at with all that thought.
Yeah, I had a 62 Ford, a 77 Ford, a 79, a 279 Fords, and up here they were beefy truck back then. You know, all the late 70s square bodies were, in my opinion, the best trucks ever built. But
you can hear them rusting.
Yeah, up here, you can hear them rusting out up here.
No.
You know, I mean, when you're driving to work up here in February, you're literally driving behind the salt truck that's throwing salt 3 lanes, and it's coming up on your hood, and you got to windshield wipe the salt off as it's throwing it over your truck. Yeah.
Goodness, I couldn't imagine.
Yeah.
I don't see how they last. I mean, a couple of years and they're gone, aren't they?
Yeah, well, you keep them sprayed down the best you can. If you try to pass the salt truck in the wintertime, because they go pretty slow, but they throw the salt out, it comes hailing out the back.
It does.
And if you pass them while they're throwing salt, because they don't stop for you, you got to just squeeze by that double, state truck plow because that plow's big. Yeah. But when you go by, it sounds like a scatter gun just throwing pellets all over the side of your truck. Because it has gravel in it as well as salt, so you're getting hit with stones as well.
And you can't, get over too far. You're going to be in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
So Hannah, Jeff, we're just about out of time here. I hate to
already
say that. Yeah, this is.
I had like 600 more questions.
I know.
It's always a good time when we have the Barrons on.
So, Hannah, what's next for you? You're an internet sensation here now. What's next? What do you got coming up?
Right now, I got to finish my last year of college this year. Start back August 16th.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
What are you going to be when you grow up?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
You mean grow up or get bigger than tiny?
Take your time.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to get no taller. I know that.
We will never pick on you for being. I don't want to use the word small. We'll never pick on you for being tiny because vertically challenged because all of the R2 guys here are bigger. So it goes both ways.
My mom was 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. She's 5 foot on a good day.
I know. I'm so used to it. My wife, when I take her to Kmart, or we go out shopping, those little clothes racks with all the shirts on it, if she walks around one, she's gone. I can't find her. I just walk around the store yelling, Lacey, I'm tired of looking for her. When we take her up to that sportsman show that we told you about, there's, what 1 million some people go through there in 9 days?
Yeah.
And it's a big place. I mean, some of the rooms are bigger than football fields. And I turn around. She has a bad habit of just disappearing.
You lose her for hours.
Yeah, and she doesn't talk much. So she sees something, she's beeline for it. I want to go look at this gun. I want to go look at this bow.
Yeah, I think we're going to clip her onto one of our belt loops next.
I need one of them little monkey leaches like they put on kids.
With the backpack.
Because I'll lose her for the whole day.
That K9 tech leash that we saw.
Yeah, it's a good time. Hey, we really appreciate you guys calling in. Had a good time talking to y'all. Hopefully,
very much.
Don't be strangers. Text us sometime when you're bored on a Thursday night. Maybe we're bored too. We'll talk some more.
You're chill, man. When y'all get ready, all you gotta do is give me a heads up. Like I said, you gotta remind me because I'll forget about it. But
it's like 4 or 5 texts throughout the the last 2 days.
That's all right.
So, did y'all see? Oh, Hannah. We was talking about how small she is. Did y'all see her
tiny?
Tiny at the big. What was it?
At the World Deer Expo beside the guy that was real tall.
Yeah, 6'8". Did y'all see that boy that played for LSU? Did you see that picture?
I missed that one somehow.
Would you put that on Facebook or
Instagram and Facebook?
You did put it on
everything.
Instagram?
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
Y'all need to look at her Instagram. She's standing beside this.
It won't be under that picture though. It's one of those that you can swipe, and Laura's the first one.
Oh, it's gonna be one of them that you can swipe. It's got 3 or 4 pictures in there.
I got it. I see him now. A guy in a gray T-shirt.
Yeah, huge. Big. Played for LSU. He's a noodler.
Really?
What does he noodle? Like great white sharks?
Yeah, he's catching great white sharks.
Now he does it down. He did it down in Louisiana and with scuba gear.
Oh right, down deeper.
Yeah, he'd go down 20 foot, and he said he even had a flashlight. Remember, they'd go down there with a flashlight, and he was noodling 20 foot deep on an old road bed, and caught 171 pounds out of there.
Jeez.
Well, you guys. Here's the thing. There's
big fingers, big fish.
I'm not at a loss for words very often. I'm quite a gabber. I like to gab. Sometimes when we're hunting turkeys, my wife will tell me to shut up because I'm trying to talk while we're hunting. And it was funny because when we first started hunting, I'd be the one to tell her, "Shh, quiet, sit still." Hey.
And now she's telling you that.
Now she's telling me you need to stop fidgeting, be quiet. And then I'll get kind of bored in the third hour and start gabbing. She'll be like, "Shh, quiet, don't talk." But I'm like I said, I'm not usually at a loss for words. But having been having catfish in my life since I could walk, having fishing for catfish with my grandfather, tournament catfishing. Catfishing is on my kayaks at night with my R2 brothers or by myself is my church. Being on the river at night is my happy place. This is something that's really near and dear to me. It's something new in my life that I didn't think I could find with catfishing, other than maybe going to the Amazon and catching some oddball catfish. So to see there's another sport out there that I can enjoy, catfishing in general. To go catch a flathead with my bare hands is it's more than just something I'm interested in. I feel like it's pulling me towards it.
We got to
if that makes sense.
Yeah, we got to do it.
And
well, listen now. When you do it,
it's gonna spoil you, man.
You can hang the rod and reel up. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you. Because once you do this, dude, you will never get the same thrill out of catching one on the rod and reel. It's just not. It's not the same.
I'm not sure, though, that I can do that back here. So unless you can find another 24-foot by 8-foot spot somewhere else on your property, because I'm not sure I can fly back and forth to Alabama every weekend.
Every time you want to fish.
Yeah. I'll be calling Jeff and be like, listen, I need my fix.
We got to go fishing, dude. When we going fishing?
You know what I'm going to go back to, Jeff, is putting catfish in my bathtub like I used to, like we talked about.
Yeah.
I have to build I have to build one of them little mini boxes in my bathtub and put little stony cats. Stick my pinky in there.
Noodle
little stony cats in my bathtub.
Hey, did y'all see that one on my Instagram after we talked?
Which one?
In the cooler, the little flathead in the cooler that we put him in a different pond. And when I opened that cooler and stuck my hand in there, did y'all see it?
Yeah, he bit you again.
He got you again.
Yeah, he hit me good. And I mean, he was just he had been in that cooler for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
And he still hit you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I just put probably 15, 20 gallons of water in that cooler, and he thought he was still on the bed.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're just protecting their eggs, whatever. We put a lot of fish back, though. We got a lot of fish this year, a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Did you get to add any to your ponds?
We put some in some ponds across the dirt road from here. A friend of mine's got a huge pond. But we put some in it. We put what that 100 costs, 45-pound fish.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, we put some good fish in there this year. But see, they're going to drain our little lake down here close to the house where we've been catching the big flatheads. They're going to drain it. They got to do some maintenance to the dam. So we're relocating, man. We're putting them somewhere, so
Absolutely.
So they won't go on down the river.
Yep, I got you. Couple of quick things here, Jeff. I love the scarlet king snake. Beautiful.
Yeah,
that was a really cool post. And do me a favor, you two. I don't ask for a whole lot, but get me, if you can, a nice close-up picture the next time that the nightstick bow fishing is out. A nice close-up of the head and maybe the teeth on one of your gars. Nice close-up pic of what I don't know if the teeth are serrated or rounded at the top or pointy. I can see some of the pictures, but I can't see the teeth real well. And I'd love to see like their bony head, their eye, something like that. That would. I hate to give out homework assignments, but I'm really interested in what they look like up close.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, they are. They are hard-headed. They just they don't have a skin over it. I don't think it's just all bone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
They look prehistoric. They're very cool.
I had video of Hannah catching them when she was little bitty, and the things would be 5 feet long, and she would just turn around and start walking up the bank with the rod and reel, and you just catch them till you just get sick of catching them. Really.
Yeah,
It's hard being Jeff Barron, isn't it? It sounds so rough.
There. Yeah, I hear you.
It's only because there's so many people in the world, Jeff. I don't think that you grasp the fact of how much there's so many guys in the world that love the outdoors, and since the outdoors is Jeff Barron, that people would love to have more of your life in their life, and so keep sharing, and keep sharing, because it brings brightness to people's days. It really does, more than you know. You're not just sharing a quick video about Millie. You're not sharing a quick video about a scarlet king snake or saving a little fuzzy-headed bird. And this goes for you too, Hannah. You're inspirational to a lot of people that don't have that type of lifestyle. For as much outdoorsmen as we are, we all love it and we all live it. You guys live in it, and we want you to keep sharing it. So.
Definitely.
Yeah, we will, fellas, and we appreciate it. But y'all just give us a holler anytime now when you get ready.
Yeah. So, having said all that, where can they find you guys if the 5, 6, 7 people that haven't liked your stuff yet?
Well, you can find me on Instagram as Hannah Barron 96, and Daddy's is Jeff Barron 70. On Facebook, I'm Hannah Barron Outdoors, and Daddy is Jeff Barron, which if you find mine, I share a lot of his stuff, so he'll be all over my page.
Yeah. That's how we ran into him.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I'm sorry we're out of time.
Yeah. So much fun.
Oh, yeah, thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all, fellas. Y'all be good.
You too.
Yeah, we try, bud.
It's tough.
Yeah, watch them short britches now, catfish.
I honestly believe when I leave here tonight, I'm just going to have to stop at the bar for one drink, and I'm going to play a game of pool there in the dark. There's a dark bar down by my place, but they have a real bright light over the pool table, and I think reaching for that 8 ball way across the table with that one leg up in the air is just going to be just about right tonight. And when she comes over to say hello, I'm going to go, "You like that big dorsal fin, don't you?" Is that podcast appropriate, Anna, or what? Hey, you guys have been excellent. We love you guys. We can't wait to talk to you again.
Hey, where can they find us?
You can find us at www.rutandriverpursuits.com, and you can find us on Instagram, hashtag R2Pursuits.
Or at R2Pursuits. You can follow us on Rut and River Pursuits on Facebook. There's a lot of stuff there. And we got a picture of the week on our website, so you want to hashtag 2D Taxidermy to try to win your spot there. We love to showcase our fans on that. On top of that, you can listen to our podcast on I went blank. What's the first one?
iTunes.
Why do I think an Insta-Good?
You can call it Insta-Good.
It's called Insta-Good.
As soon as it goes up, it's Insta-Good. But
it's Insta-Good.
Insta-tune.
It's going to be a good one this week, guys. So come on out and join us and listen to the Barons, and it won't be the last you hear from them, I'm sure of it.
No way.
iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and CastBox. Peace.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the Rut and River Pursuits podcast. Follow the R2 Pro staff by searching Rut and River Pursuits on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Until the next episode, we need to see you in the outdoors.